Hello, hello, hello. Demonstrating a technique that I will be teaching in just a moment. Hi, welcome to the Hoopla Y'all Show. I'm your host, Shay Rippinger of the Hoopla, and here I am talking about health, humor, and hooping. And this particular series I'm very excited about. This is the first show of this mindset modification series, and in this particular show, this is the Change Your Thoughts, Change Your World is the theme, and I'll also be covering with this two steps, rinse and repeat, of how to change your thoughts so that you can change your world and your mindset view of that. And then we're going to do a little laughter yoga exercise, a little temple massage. That's going to be fun, and a hoop technique that is it moves, you move kind of thing. So anyway, it's going to be a fun technique that you can incorporate into your hoop dance practice. So let's get started. So welcome to the Hoopla Y'all Show. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, I'm Shay Rippinger of Hip the Hoopla. If you're back visiting and returning, thanks so much. And if you're watching live, yay! Type in the comments where you're watching from, all that kind of good stuff. Say hi, give a shout out. If you're watching on the recording, say also hi and where you're watching from and all that kind of good stuff. And let me know what your great takeaways are of tonight, or any ideas and contributions that you have as well. So I am Shay Rippinger, and I teach I help wise-aged women get happy, healthy, and more holistic with humor, heart, and hula hooping. And I'm very excited to be here. I've taught lots of people all over the world, like thousands of people that I've touched and taught, and all kinds of stuff in various ways, mental ways, touching. So anyway, it's all good. And yeah, it's I've gone through all my own struggles. You know, we all have things that we have to deal with on a daily basis, and that's what prompted this mindset modification. We're living in some pretty rough times right now, and there's a lot going on. So some things that we can do, I like to help try and bring positivity, brightness, lightness, happiness, humor, even if it's just for a little bit. But one of the reasons why I wanted to do this mindset modification, I think it's really helpful because I think we get in our own ways a lot. I know I do. I self-sabotage, you know, just like anybody else. So I have to, you know, really work at it to, you know, get myself out of my own way. So here's the way that you change your thoughts and change your world. Here's the reason why I brought this up, because here's an example of how this happened for me and my big aha moment from it. So after I graduated from college with a degree, I went to work in my parents' gift store up in the mountains, and basically was a gift shop clerk, if you will. Okay, so I was thinking not very highly of myself, because I was like, wow, I had this college degree and here I am making, you know, kind of like minimum wage, and, you know, working this kind of what I thought in my mind was a lowly job. And interestingly enough, I started talking to people, our customers and things like that, found that they were from all over the world, and found that the more I stepped up in the job, the better it got. And when I say step up in the job, my position didn't change, but my perspective of it did. So how I changed my thought process about what I did was really crucial in my making this leap of changing my thought and changing my world. So I still had the same job, but in my mind, it became this really neat thing, because I got to talk to international people every day. So I got to talk with people from all over the world. I would use my language skills, and I would joke around with them and say, hey, give me a phrase in your language of something that an American couldn't screw up too badly, and they'd laugh and they'd give me something, and I'd try and work on it, try and get the accent right and stuff like that. But I was trying to broaden and expand my horizons. And also we had, basically it was like a tourist destination up there where I was working up in Evergreen, Colorado, and it was a tourist stop. So it said on the highway, tourist information, and all they did was have a bunch of pamphlets in the bar. And so what I did is I took it upon myself to become the tourist information, because people didn't want to go talk to the big wall of pamphlets at the bar. They wanted to talk to a human being. So I became an information central type of person and would help people go and find things, how to deal, and welcome to the welcome them to the area, and tell them, okay, you're at altitude now. If you're coming from a lower altitude, you want to take these precautions. You want to drink lots of water. You want to watch your alcohol intake because it's going to hit you harder out here. You want to take it a little slow when you're first coming out here because you might have some experience of problems breathing. Now I experience that when I go back there now. So all the things that I used to give advice on, I have to do myself now. So anyway, I became an information center for tourist information. So my job, this gift shop clerk, and I never really called myself that, but in essence, that's what I was. I became an international liaison. Ooh, woman of mystery. So, but I still did the work at the gift shop. So I still greeted people. I still sold the awesome things that we carried and things like that. So I changed my perspective. Very same job, but I just changed my thoughts on it. And all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, it gradually increased. But interestingly enough, my sales went, because I made a base rate and I made commission on what I sold. So because I thought of myself differently of what I did there and not so lowly anymore, my sales went up. So I got more money on my own, earning it because I thought of myself as a higher person, of, this person that could help people, and it was really cool. So that change of thought changed my world. So that's an example of that. So here's 2 easy steps to do this. So when you're finding yourself thinking you're whatever it is, and you're thinking down here, and you want to be thinking up here, and you want to, the goal is up here, and you want to change your world, you're sitting over here going, well, that's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's not going to help anybody. But changing your thoughts and changing your world is going to make a difference. So my first thing is notice when you're negative. When you are using negative words, negative phrases, negative talk, that's not helpful to anybody. Not at all. So when you're saying, oh, I'm just this, I don't have that, blah, 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 blah. So notice when you're using those negative words. That's step 1. Step 2, very easy. Change your language. Very simple. So step 1, notice when you're saying something negative. Step 2, change your language. So change your language is something positive. It could be a little bit more affirmative, or an affirmation, if you will. But instead of saying, like I just used the example of myself, and I was trying to pick out and I haven't gone back to look at my resume for quite a while, but, gift shop clerk, I didn't put that in my resume because, that doesn't sound all that great. But international liaison, I could totally get away with saying that, and that's very true, very honest in what I did, with helping coordinate things for people, trying to help them with their travels. They were traveling from another country a lot of times. Sometimes they multi-generations, multi-language, all kinds of different things. And not to say that I was brilliant at all languages or anything like that, not in the least, but I made an attempt to communicate, and really expanded that knowledge and the reach that I had, and my success as a result of that. So notice when you're negative, change your language. So very simple. I do that with my people in class all the time. I'm going to go through more of these mindset modifications in this series. This is a 5-part series. So this is part number 1 with the change your thoughts, change your world. Okay, on that note, I'm going to move over to the laughter yoga exercise. You can stay seated for this one. I would love it if you do this with me. This is very fun, and it's very easy to do. Quite simple, and it's very relaxing. So this is change your thoughts, change your action, change your world. So that what we're going to do is we're going to just reach up, and we're going to start out with a nice posture. If you can, set both feet on the ground with your feet flat on the ground, and if you can, take your shoes and socks off so that you can actually feel the ground. A lot of times we're wearing shoes with rubber soles and we're not getting grounded and really experiencing earth, and literally, physically, and metaphorically, and energetically grounding ourselves. So you might want to try that. Take your shoes off and put your bare feet on the ground, you know, unless you're on like the weirdest thing or you have a cold floor or whatever the case may be. But, and you can also try this outside. So what we're going to do is take a nice deep breath in, roll the shoulders back, exhale it out, and then we're going to take your 2 fingers on each hand, and we're just going to rub the temples as we take an inhale in, and we're going to rub the temples, and you can close your eyes while you do this as well. Inhale it in, rub the temples, and then exhale it out, and relax that out. Feel the neat release with that. So we're going to inhale it in, rub the temples, in through the nose, hold the breath up at the top, and then exhale and release it out. You can even laugh that out. You can smile or laugh that out, whatever works best for you. And then we're going to do one more time here, and take an inhale in, rubbing the temples, hold that up at the top, and then exhale, release that out with a laugh. Just notice that for a moment and feel that energetically. So you've done that rubbing of the temples, so we've stimulated some brain cells here, energetically and physically and mentally too, because when you do the effort, that really helps, you know, get in that muscle memory as well, any kind of movement like that. So this is, and it's a helpful massage as well. So at the end of, I'm calling this a laughter yoga exercise because on that exhale you can laugh that out, and that is a really nice thing to do. You can also smile with that, do a smile breath with that, or laugh it out, or just exhale, just a plain exhale. But as a laughter yoga exercise, I like to encourage you to laugh because it's going to raise your endorphin levels too. So it's going to enter into that deeper relaxation. So that rubbing of the temples is going to relax, and as you exhale and release with the big laugh, that's going to release some extra tension and help detox as well. So at the end of laughter yoga exercises, we do this twice. We take our hands nice and big together because we hit all the acupressure points when we clap, and we're going to clap twice and say very good, yay. Do that with me again. Very good, yay. All right, so that's our laughter yoga exercise. And now we're going to do this hoop technique that I was demonstrating right at the beginning. And this is a really cool hoop technique, and you can incorporate this in the hoop dance. It's not like, I was going to say, it's not like a major trick, except the fact that I learned this from Matthew Poki McCorkle. So I've done a couple of workshops with him, and he's brilliant at this. I will link to one of his videos or his channel in the description link so that you can see this. But this is a technique that I learned from him. So I did not create this technique, but I do use this in my hoop practice a little bit. He is brilliant at it. I'm going to demonstrate my variation of it. So, but I highly recommend go to his stuff, look at his work, because it's really neat and fascinating to watch. It's completely mesmerizing. So, very cool thing. So what you're going to do, this technique is you're going to move the hoop, and then you're going to move. So move, and then move with it. You can move with it or against it. So move, 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 move. And this, it doesn't look like much until you've seen it done really well. I'm doing it kind of mediocre. I'm just going to give myself you know, I'm not trying to be self-deprecating on this, but I'm trying to give Matt Poki McCorkle the total shout out, props out, because he does this really extremely well. So he uses a mini hoop like this. I'm just using a mini hoop to demonstrate. So you can use whatever size hoop you like, but what you're doing is you're moving the hoop, and then you are moving. So you can move the hoop, move, or not move the hoop. So in the case, one of the brilliant things that he does is he keeps this hoop in space, and it looks like it's attached to the ceiling. It looks like it stays in space because he's so brilliant at how he works this, and it stays in place. This is a slight example of what that looks like, of moving around your hoop. He does this thing too where he's kind of a tall guy. He actually goes in. This does not move at all. He goes in like I think he does it, I've seen him perform it one way where it kind of looks like a manhole cover that's kind of in space, and he goes in through it, and it moves around, and he's just doing this really neat stuff here where he, you know, you can do these kind of things. So this opens up your hoop creativity of what you can do with the hoop, you know, kind of based on an isolation. He does some really neat things like that. So, but my technique, hint of this particular show, is to move the hoop and then you move with it. You move. So instead of just moving with the hoop, which sometimes we do with our hoop dance, which is one technique, we're going to move the hoop and then we move. Move the hoop, move, move, move. And then sometimes I cheat and forget what I'm doing, and then I move with the hoop when I'm trying to get this technique out. Pretty cool, huh? So anyway, that is a really fun and cool technique. So experiment with this. And also, I highly recommend that you experiment with that in a mirror or a reflective surface like a window, something like that, where you can actually see what you look like doing that, because it's really cool to see and to experiment with. And when you visually see what that's looking like, what you're accomplishing, then it means more, and then you start playing with it some more and getting even more creative with it. So I highly encourage you to try that, experiment with it, enjoy it, and all that. Okay, nutshell recap of the entire show. So we're on the Mindset Modification series. It's a 5-part series. This is episode number 1 of that series. So it's episode 131 of the whole Hoopla of Y'all show. Not that you need to know all these numbers. I realize I'm throwing that at you. But this is the change your thoughts, change your world. Because when you do change your thoughts, your world can look a whole lot different. So instead of having it be whatever, and this can occur when, you know, you're watching the news and the world looks like whatever it looks like, and I think we know these days what it's looking like, and but all of us still have a different perspective of it. So you can look at what somebody's telling you to look at and how they're telling you to look at it, or you could change your thoughts and make your worldview change. So you can see the positive in things by doing these 2 steps. Notice when you're negative is number 1, and then change your language, number 2. So what you're telling yourself about the situation, about yourself, about your thoughts about the situation, notice when it's negative and change it to the positive. So take out those negative words and such. And then we did the laughter yoga exercise. That is the temple massage, where we took a nice deep breath in. We grounded our feet flat on the floor, preferably without shoes and socks if you have the availability to do that. And then we massaged the temples on a deep breath in. And then we smiled and exhaled and or laughed it out. Smile, rub it in, rub the temples. Inhale in, and then exhale, laugh it out. Deeply relaxing. And then we did the hoop technique of the move the hoop, and then you move. Move the hoop, you move. And then you can move around the hoop. Like so. All right, so those are some fun hoop techniques that you can incorporate in your dance. Laughter yoga technique that will help you de-stress your day, and some mental techniques that can help you just change your perspective if you're having a rough day or just want to have a better day. So hopefully those have helped, and please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and share as well. So hopefully there are some good nuggets. Let me know what you enjoyed from the show, this particular episode, and what you're looking forward to for me covering in the future. So yeah, all right, so I thank you so much for being here. Again, like and subscribe. I'm Shay Rippinger of Hip the Hoopla, and if you haven't already, please visit hipthehoopla.com, www.hipthehoopla.com. And I'm also on Instagram, on Facebook, on Pinterest, yeah, all the things. So, and YouTube. Really trying hard to build my YouTube channel, build a really wonderful library over there, and I have a growing number of hoop tutorials and also laughter yoga exercises as well, and all kinds of neat things. And if you want to see me perform over there as well, I have some performances in there, and even just simple jams. So sometimes if you're just needing a little fun inspiration, or as I call it, hoopspiration, go visit over there and check those out. So thanks so much for visiting, for being with me, spending this time with me, and I will see you on the next video where we're going to talk about Gigo. If you want to know what Gigo is, tune into the next episode. All right, rock on, peace out. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.